This is question 8b. In part A, we were asked to find the equations of the perpendicular bisectors of side RQ and PR. So this is the perpendicular bisector to side RQ, and this one is the perpendicular bisector to side PR. In this part of the question, part B, we're asked to find the coordinates of the point T, which is the point of intersection of these two bisectors. So we want the point of intersection of these two lines. As soon as you hear the word point of intersection, you should think of straight away that means where the lines cross over, and hopefully solving simultaneous equations will come to mind. The diagram we have here illustrates the situation. We'll have two perpendicular bisectors and we have the point of intersection inside the triangle. Now, we mentioned simultaneous equations, and you could do this a couple of ways. The blue equation, the first bisector, you could make this y equals minus 3x minus 1, and then you could substitute that into the second equation and solve for x. Once you know x, you could then solve for y. Or you could just do it the sort of traditional way of doing simultaneous equations by labeling one of them equation A and the other one equation B, and then eliminating either the x or the y and taking it from there. So we'll do it that way. Before we start, we would probably want to rearrange each equation into the sort of familiar way that we have dealt with simultaneous equations before. So the first one is 3x plus y plus 1 equals 0. So I'm going to move this plus 1 onto the right hand side. That will give us 3x plus y equals minus 1. And the second equation, we have 6y minus 2x minus 4 equals 0. With a bit of rearranging, we can get this equation to give us 2x minus 6y equals minus 4. So now we have our two equations set out the way we usually see them in simultaneous equations. So we'll label them A and B. And now what we want to try and do is either eliminate the x's or the y's. So in order to do that, we're going to have to either multiply one or both equations. Probably the easiest way to do it is to multiply equation A by 6. That will give us 6y in here, and then that will allow us to eliminate the y's. So equation A, we're going to multiply by 6. So multiplying through, that gives us 6 times 3x is 18x. 6 times y is 6y, and 6 times minus 1 is minus 6. The second equation stays as it is, making sure we don't forget to put the x in here. So in order to eliminate the y's, we're going to add at this point. So we have plus 6y add minus 6y, which is the same as 6y minus 6y, which gives us 0. So adding all the way through, 18x plus 2x gives us 20x. We know that the y's cancel out when we add. And then we have minus 6 add minus 4. So if you're not sure about doing this, then the best thing to do is do a little bit of working at the side. This is the point where most people make mistakes with simultaneous equations. So we had minus 6 on the top line, and we're going to add minus 4. So that's minus 6 plus the minus sign makes minus. Minus 6 minus 4 is minus 10. So 20x equals minus 10. That means x is equal to minus 10 divided by 20. And that simplifies to x equals minus a half. So we have our x value for our point. Now we want to work out our y value. So we get that by substituting the x value we've just worked out into equation A. So our equation A was 3x plus y equals minus 1. So x is minus a half, so we have 3 times negative a half plus y is equal to minus 1. So we're beginning to run out of space down here. So we'll finish it off up here. 3 times minus a half gives us minus 3 over 2 plus y equals minus 1. So what we want to do is move our minus 3 over 2 onto the right hand side. That gives us y equals minus 1 plus 3 over 2 and minus 1 add 3 over 2 gives us 1/2. So now we have our y value for our point of intersection. So point of intersection T is x is negative a half and y a half. And that's the point where the two bisectors cross over. If we want to check that this is in fact the correct answer, what we need to do is substitute minus a half in place of x in equation B and a half in place of y in equation B, and hopefully we get the answer minus 4. So first of all, 2 times minus a half, and we can do this in our head. 2 times minus a half is minus 1. And then we have minus 6 times y, which is a half, which is minus 3. So we have minus 1, minus 3, which gives us minus 4. So we know we have the correct answer. So this point of intersection is the correct answer. It's our final answer.